Hello everyone. Okay, so hello, my name is Kalima from Kalima's Creations, and I wanted to show you all a DIY wreath that I made. I showed it on Facebook and people wanted to see how I made it, so I want to show you all how I did that. So these are the ones that I made. This was the first one that I made, and this is one without ruffles. It has a little tab on it for the door, if you can see that. A little tab for the door, and it has a bow on it. You know, I made a little bow on it. Okay, and this has no ruffles. Okay, it's just a fitted one, and this is an Ankara fabric. This is African fabric, and I'm gonna show you how to make this one today. I'm gonna show you how to make both of them actually, but I'm actually gonna make this one to show you directly how to do it. Okay, and this is the second one. This one has ruffles around it. And again, this is in a patchwork style. This is in Ankara fabric as well, African print fabric as well. And this is the patchwork design. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of fabric that I have on this particular ruffled one. Okay, and it has a little sash on this so you can hang it on the door. How I did mine is I just put the sash on it, and I put two tacks on it, and put it on top of my door, and it works fine. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need some tape. I have some duck brand tape. I have tape. You're going to need some scissors to cut your fabric. You're going to need a knife or a cutting tool to cut the pool noodle. You're going to need a dollar store pool noodle. A pool noodle just from the dollar store. This is 48 inches long. So you're going to need one of these. You're going to need yourself some fabric. At least enough to make, okay, so this is 48 inches long. You want to make it, have it at least 96 inches long as lengthwise, okay? And widthwise, you want to have it, if you're going to do it the regular one that I had before without the ruffles, it's going to be like 12 inches. You're going to have 12 inches wide, at least 96 inches, well, no, not 96 inches, sorry. At least, because this is not, how much, this is 48 inches, yeah, at least 96 inches long of fabric, because you want it to be nice and, you know, full. Okay, but at least that for the first one, which is no ruffles, you're going to need at least for it to be 12 inches wide. Okay, and then the second one, which is the ruffled one, you're going to have that 16 to 17 inches wide, because you're going to have to sew down the sides to make your ruffle. All right, so for the, you're going to need a measuring tool to see how much your fabric, how wide your fabric is, and some clips or pins to keep your fabric together, to pin your fabric together. Okay, so yeah, what I did with this pool noodle is I cut these pieces off so you can have them angled so that they can fit together to make a circle. Because if you don't, I'll show you how it's going to look. If you do not cut it off, if you do not, this is the one that's not cut off, okay? And you see how the ends are? They're just regular ends of a pool noodle. So, and if you do this like that, it's going to be an oval, and it's not going to, it will, but it will look circular, but it's going to be hard to keep it together taped like that. So that's why I angled it and I cut it off on opposite angles on each side of the pool noodle, okay? You see that? So that it can come together like this. Sorry. Come together like this to form a circle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to form our circle. No, we're not. We're going to cut our pool noodle. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to cut our pool noodle at an angle, and this, we're going to have that, all right? And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to have our fabric. Okay, so this is 12 inches widthwise of fabric, okay? And all you're going to do is fold it together. Ends together. If you need to put a clip on it, you put a clip on it. Or a pin, whatever you have. To put it together. Like that, okay? Just ends together. you know, put the ends together, and we're going to sew it or serge it, whichever one you're going to use. I use the serger. Sorry, that's not it. And, sorry, sew it together like so, okay? So this is for the one that's going to be without ruffles. So it's going to look like this when you're done. It's going to be one long tube. And all you're going to do is you're going to turn your tube inside out. Just like that. Just like you would do any other type of tube that you're going to make, that you normally make. And you bring it all in, out, inside, outside, inside out. Until it's all done on the right side, okay? I'm going to keep on doing that until we have the entire length of the tube right side out. So let me just go ahead and do that real quick so we can get our tube onto our pool noodle from the dollar store. The dollar store has all types of beautiful, inexpensive items that you can make beautiful crafts out of. You know, nobody would have thought that this was a pool noodle on my door that I made a wreath into. Although the Dollar Tree does have pre-formed wreath foams, however, since we're doing this style, which is where we made the tube, that will not work for us. That will only work if we're wrapping the fabric around the wreath, and we're not doing that today. Today we're making this particular type where we are going to slide the pool noodle inside of this tube, this beautiful tube. Okay, and you can use any type of fabric you want. You can even use burlap, you can use jean, you can use sequin fabric. You know, make yourself a glam wreath, which is one thing I was thinking about doing as well. Okay, so when you turn your fabric, you want to make sure that your seam is in the middle, because you don't want that to be showing on your wreath. So you just put it in the middle. You do that, you just make sure it's all in the middle like that, like so. You see that? Have your seam in the middle so that when you put your noodle, put it inside your noodle inside here, it's not going to show. Okay, so this is what we're going to do for this particular one. It's going to look just like this. Okay, and then we're going to slide that. But I want to show you how the tube looks if it is going to be ruffled. All right, so if you're going to be ruffled, this is how you're going to do it. Okay, now I made this 16 inches wide, like 16 and a half inches actually, because I wanted to make 1 inch ruffles. Now if you want to make 2-inch ruffles, you want to make the fabric wider, okay? But this is a 1-inch ruffle on each side, and I marked it with the chalk so that you could see where it is. This is where it is. That's how I did it. This 1-inch ruffle, 1-inch line down. Just sew it right down. Once you turn this is after you turn your tube inside out. You're going to sew down 1 inch all the way down the length of the tube, okay? And then what's going to happen is you're going to just slide your noodle right on in there. You see, you slide your noodle in there, and once you start sliding the noodle, I'm going to show you, even though we're not making this one today, but I just want to show you for those who want to make this one. You see, you're just going to slide that right on down, and as you slide it, of course it's going to be longer than this, but as you slide it on in there, the more fabric you have, the more pronounced and the more beautiful your ruffles are going to look. See how that looks? You're going to keep on doing that, and then after it's done, after it's all in there, then you can fix it. See how that looks? You see how beautiful that looks? And you can see the ruffles already forming on the side here. And then once you gather it all together, it's going to look more pronounced and more beautiful. And you know, I like to use the patchwork style of fabric, and if you want, you can twist it like I did initially when I had fixed that first one. So this is how it's going to look if you were doing the ruffled one. And like I said earlier, the end result will be this. It will be like this. Okay? Okay, so let's get back to the first one we're going to do. Alright, so we're just going to slide our noodle right on in. See how easy it goes in? That's why you want to make sure that it's wide enough so it won't be too taut to get your noodle all in there. So you just pull it all in. Put the noodle all the way inside of your fabric. Sure it's all in. Super easy, really fun and fast. You can make a ton of these and give them as gifts. And I like how this fabric has hearts on it. You can give it as a gift for somebody you love, okay? Okay, so, and what you want to do is, you want to take your tape and you cut a few pieces of tape off. It helps if you have somebody to help you with this, but if you don't, that's fine. And I didn't make mine really long because this is just a tutorial, but just to show you all how it's going to look. And you struggle to put your pool noodle together like so. Okay, so you're just going to put that right on over. This is the duck brand tape. This is really strong hold. So we want to uphold it really taut to keep together. It's a little bit trying, but you'll get it. Once you get it, the trick is just to get it to stay together. So this is going to be the first tape. And then I'm going to put a few more pieces of tape together. See, at least I got that together, you know. And then what you're going to do is get another piece of tape and